I first got involved in Young Life when I was in middle school because I went to wildlife. I don't know how I went to my first wildlife club. I was probably invited by a friend or something, but I just remember playing all the crazy games. And growing up, my brothers were like, did some Young Life events. And I remember because they're older, and I remember like being really curious about like what it was. And I feel like after having experienced it and like being involved in Young Life, the most significant thing that I've like gotten out of it would be just like this fresh experience of faith, and how like just it just reminded me, my experience, like that God wants us to have fun, and like the excitement for life that can come with having a relationship with God. So yeah, and I've continued Young Life into high school after wildlife, and I've it's just been awesome. A Young Life camp experience that was impactful for me would be Beyond Malibu. I went on Beyond with my church, and I think that it's like, or I would say that it's like one of the coolest experiences I've ever had, just because like I've never, it was rewarding and fun at the same time. And it was like, just, yeah, I mean, it was so great because it felt like a week where I didn't have my phone, and I was with good friends, and it felt like I could be myself, and I was in such a positive environment with like God and other people, and just like this simplicity of just doing a task together, if that makes sense. Like everything about it just felt so good. The entire thing was just so like profound to me, and just like, I don't know, I had such a great time. So I would say that that was a really significant Young Life camp experience, even though it isn't, I guess, specifically a camp, but that was one of the coolest things I've ever done, just being able to be with good people and with God, and in such a great environment like that with no phones. And yeah, my Young Life experience during COVID was limited, of course, but it was like special in a new way, because when everything else was going wrong, like being able to go on Zoom and like be with my campaigners group, and just like kind of be reminded that like when everything's going wrong, like your faith is still there. And like even just having something on my schedule and like people to connect with, like that at the very least was like so awesome. And just to, be with people. And I remember in one of the Zooms, one of my leaders said something along the lines of like, who are you when you're alone? And how like quarantine is kind of forcing us to examine that. And those words like really stuck with me. And just, I don't know, being able to like reflect with each other and just Zoom with each other in such a weird time was something I was really grateful for.
Do you like donuts? Well, today's the last day of our giving campaign, and if anyone gives $100 or more today, they will have a dessert delivered to their house tomorrow. Maybe it's donuts, maybe it's something else. We got people in our community making desserts delivered to you. Thanks for giving.